growing up, I had a great childhood. I come from an Italian background, so really tight-knit family. I suppose my parents were quite strict. My dad's quite a strict man. We weren't really religious. We just sort of went to church on Easter and Christmas time, and I was taught that that was just what you did at Easter and Christmas. You know, you go to church and that's just what you do. I was firmly not a Christian. A few months after I'd turned 18, I had, discovered all this freedom that came with now being classified as an adult. I was going out heaps, sort of getting a lot of attention and really sort of enjoying that. I thought I had everything all together. I thought my life was great. I was having fun. It was my first year of uni, and a friend and I were going out, and she happened to bring another friend on that night who she told me lots about. He was really intriguing as a person, and there was a bit of an attraction there. So we actually had a really great night, which sort of surprised me because I knew that they were Christians, and I was like, how could I have had one of the best nights of my life with people that believed in Jesus? Didn't really make any sense to me. I just throw so many questions at him, like all the questions that I had about, evolution and creation and about God and science, I would just fire them at him like relentlessly. But it was just amazing because he had an answer for literally every question that I posed. He could show me examples from the Bible and from personal experience. He could answer every question that I had. So over a period of about 4 months, I think my heart really softened to God and the whole church idea. And then one week I sort of just bit the bullet, and I thought, you know what, I've got a bit of a crush on this guy. Maybe if I go to his church, like, he might like me. Before I knew it, my hand was in the air and my head was saying, what on earth are you doing? But my heart just knew that it was right. It was just in my personality to want evidence for everything, and everything had to perfectly be logical, and everything had to follow a process. And I think when I came to God, that was probably my biggest struggle. I think if we could completely understand and fathom God, and it's like, well, he wouldn't really be God. Like, that's the whole point. I think the element of mystery is so amazing to me. I'd been going to church for a few weeks now, undercover. No one knew that I was going. And then one day my mum just asked me, because she just knew, she knew that something was going on, and she knew that my best friend was a Christian. So she was like, one day she was like, Tahlia, what are you doing? Where are you going, spending all your time? And I was like, oh, I've been going to church. And then I knew that I had to come clean and tell my dad, and I was absolutely terrified to tell him, because if anyone was going to lose it over this, it was going to be him. One night, I remember I was just sitting at the table. I'd come home and my dad was like, Tahlia, I know you're doing something. Where have you been going? I know something's not right. And I just said that I'd been going and that it wasn't weird, and that I was loving it, and I'd had gotten so much joy from it. And he was just sort of like a small millisecond of anger, I suppose, and confusion about how their daughter could have ever possibly ended up going to church. And then I just sort of went upstairs, and then he came back up and later, which was so unexpected, and just said, if it makes you happy, then okay, go ahead and do it. And they were just in their mind really worried about me, and really worried that suddenly I was going to cut them off from my life, and suddenly I was going to become this person that they didn't even recognize. So for a while I was quite isolated from my family. For about 2 years it was really hard. That was quite a dark time for me in my journey. I ended up marrying Daniel about 5 years after we'd met. We have an amazing house together, and we serve together at church. We look after young adults together, and I ended up finishing uni. I did my honours, and I actually got a high distinction for my honours, which was just crazy, because that whole time I just continued to put God first, and although I was facing a bunch of stuff, I never really faltered in my journey with him. And it was amazing how, I'd still come out with these amazing grades. I think I realised that no matter what we go after in life, really nothing is going to wholeheartedly satisfy but God. I think he's the only one that can fill that void within us, because he created us, so he's the only one that can fully complete us. I'm really excited to see where I'm going to end up.